What advice would you have for somebody who wants to be a social media creator? Look, I could sit here and give you the typical, be yourself, or post the content that you want to post, or, do what you want, or don't listen to the hate comments. And that's good advice. Don't get me wrong, that's definitely good advice. But everybody says that. And I want to give you some meaningful advice that you wouldn't hear from any other creator. And that is, it is very important to know the ins and outs of the algorithm of the platform that you're posting on. Very important. I feel like most creators don't really think about it or talk about it. But for example, I would say I know a lot of what there is to know about the TikTok algorithm. I know what videos are going to do well, what videos aren't going to do well, what I should include in my videos to make them do well. I know live streaming, what's going to get people into a live stream, what's going to stay, keep people engaged, and all that stuff. For example, it's very good not to have a long intro on a video. You want to get right to the point to keep people engaged. Why? Because the most important statistic right now on TikTok, and this is ever changing, the algorithm changes, but right now, likes aren't as important, shares aren't as important. A lot of people think, you have to have a good like ratio. I mean, sure, that's not really what's going to make a video go viral though. It is all about watch time, how far people get into the video. So you gotta make sure you're keeping people engaged from the very first second of the video, or else they'll scroll through, and that's the worst thing that somebody can do. So you just gotta know the algorithm, and that's like that on TikTok, but maybe Instagram or Snapchat or whatever the freak else you're posting on. Maybe that values likes more, stuff like that. So you just, it's not about doing research, it's about posting and becoming familiar with what does well, noticing patterns, and then going from there. And I feel like that's really helped me out, because obviously, if I know what's gonna do well and I know what's gonna do bad, you better believe I'm gonna freaking post the thing that's gonna do well, because why the freak wouldn't I? And I feel like that's helped me get somewhere. So there you go. Have you ever seriously considered quitting social media? Look, I gotta be honest, no. I just haven't. And look, I've definitely gone through some of the mental struggles of being somebody who, makes content on social media. And look, it is just as advertised. You know what I mean? There's good days and bad days, and you can get really attached to the numbers because look, people say, don't think about the views, don't think about the likes, that stuff doesn't matter. It matters. It absolutely matters. You should be, attached to your views and your numbers. That is part of what's being a creator is knowing, setting goals for yourself numbers wise, trying to get there. It helps you stay motivated and stuff like that. But there are days, and this just happens, where you don't get the views you want, and those days can be tough. And my mind gets put through the ringer on those days. But I love this so much that there's no way I would ever quit, because it would be so unbelievably not beneficial to me to quit. And a lot of people say I love social media. I love what I do, so why would I stop doing it? No, I genuinely, I can walk the walk with this. I love this so much. Do you really think that I would sit here and crank out 7 videos a day, live stream for 3 hours every single day without ever taking a day off ever, while I'm in college? I'm a senior in college. There's no reason I would have to be doing this aside from the fact that I just love it. So yeah, no, I'm not gonna quit ever. Freaking try and stop me. It's not happening. It's just not going to. If you could take control of anyone's Instagram account for one day, whose would it be and why? I mean, I'm looking at this from a strategic perspective. I'm talking strategy. This is the GOAT opportunity for free promo. I mean, let's be honest. Look, you gotta be greedy. You gotta be greedy on social media and the internet. And what would I do? I would give me Messi. Give me Messi. He's got 300 something million followers. What am I doing? I'm posting, hey, everybody go follow this guy, Michael DiCostanzo. He posts great content. You're not gonna wanna miss it. I'd post my videos on Messi's account, and they'd be this guy's the GOAT. Let me go follow him. Or they'd be this guy's the WOAT. Let me block him. But that's okay. I don't need those people. I can just get the followers. But that's the GOAT promo opportunity. Who wouldn't do that? If you're oh yeah, I want LeBron's Instagram account, and I would want to see who he's following. What's the point? What is the point of that? No, I'm taking Messi's Instagram account. First of all, I'm following myself, because that'd be sick, to get followed by Messi. And I'm posting all of my content there. And then getting insane promo opportunities off that. I'd have 3 million followers by the end of the day. It'd be insane. What are your favorite movies of all time? Look, I'm man enough to admit it. Give me rom-coms. Give me rom-coms. Now, I actually have a top 50 movies list, but it's not really a top 50 of all time list. It's more of the 50 movies that I've seen in the past year, ranked. Because I'm just kind of into making lists, and every movie that I've seen in the past year, I've put on this list. It's top heavy with rom-coms. It's Number 1, The Holiday. Oh, unreal movie. Number 2, The Parent Trap. Not a rom-com, but like nostalgic for me. One of the first movies I remember seeing. It's a great movie. Number 3 is actually And Then There Were None. It's like a murder mystery. I love murder mysteries too. So it's rom-coms and murder mysteries. And then I also love Ratatouille. But then like after that, you got all rom-coms. You got like The Notebook, Serendipity, You've Got Mail, 3 insane recommendations for anybody. I'm a sucker for rom-coms. I cry every time. Like literally, if I watch a rom-com and don't cry at the end, it's not a good movie. It's just not. So yeah, give me rom-coms in 6 over the field. What is something most people who follow you don't know about you? This is a really tough question for me because like, if you've been to a single one of my live streams, like if you've just been to like 15 minutes of any given live stream, you know my entire life story because I'm like the most open book of all time. Like I feel like I have nothing to hide. Like I feel like I'm just like not doing anything in my life that's like worth hiding. Like I don't have like a secret like crazy bad thing that I've done or like I don't have like a secret girlfriend that I'm like not telling anybody about. Like I'm an open book. And like I just sat here and talked about rom-coms for the past 5 minutes. Like you think I wouldn't, like I tell people everything. So tough question, but I'm gonna treat this as like, what's a fun fact about you? A fun fact about me is that I was an uncle like a week into being alive. Like my dad had me and my brother had a kid like the next week. So how crazy is that? What's your favorite video that you've ever posted? Obviously a lot of options on the table here because I do post like 7 videos a day. So there's a lot, but I would say one of them is like my best Wordle moments of 2022. Like that was a really fun video to make. I just took all my favorite videos and I put them all in one. So obviously that, but the new series that I've started doing with Savannah lately, Scavenger Hunts, where it's like first person to bring back like a taco wins. And we go out and we like vlog our experiences with like intense music in the background, we could be, super quirky in that and like put all, little fun moments in there, show our personality a little bit. And those videos are really fun. So if you haven't watched the Scavenger Hunt series, there's a playlist on my page. You know what to do, go check it out. When did you first go viral? Now, viral is like an interesting, like where's the line between viral and not viral? The first video that I ever posted that did really well. So I had like a trick shot account on TikTok like last year or whatever, like freaking that sucked. And that, I didn't get a ton of traction off that. But ever since making my new account, the first video that did really well was like an anti-Wordle video. I posted in like late March. I was like, oh, this is a game called Anti-Wordle. Here's how to play. And it got like, almost 2 million views. I think it's at like 1.7. And so that was like my first like really well performing video, but I wouldn't call that viral at all. And my page didn't really start to like take off until I started to post the country series, right? Which is where I'd make a video saying like, let's see if I can name every single country that starts with the letter B. And then I would like try and name every single country and like do this quiz. And I would do one of those every day. And like, those started to do really well. Like one of them got like, almost 8 million views. And like the next day, the one got like 3 million views. And then I'd like, I had like a bunch of those with 1 million views. And now, I mean, it's great. Like I think I'm almost up to like 50 or something like that videos with over 1 million views, which is crazy. But like, I would say it's that country series that really first sparked like the big growth. Do you see social media as your long-term career path? If not, what could you see yourself doing? It better be, because if it's not, I am screwed. And the reason I say that is because like I feel like I just can't do anything that's not social media, like as a job. Like I would suck and I would just hate myself. Like I am the worst student ever. Like anything that requires like anything that I don't like if it's like a math class and I have to like turn an assignment, like I'll just like not do it in time, or like I'll just like just procrastinate it until the very last second and then like do it. And like I'll have an exam and I'll just like not study because like I just like don't want to and I hate it. You know what I mean? And like that's like obviously an awful quality to have, but like it's just who I am. And I am so insanely motivated on TikTok because I love it so much that I have no problem spending like, nights up to like 5 a.m. like recording and editing videos. Like I love it. Like it's just like fun. So anything that I would be doing, like, and I'm so happy to have found this because, again, like, if I was doing anything that I, like, hated doing, I feel like I would just suck at it, get fired instantly. I would just be an auto, like, whoa, like, worst of all time when it comes to, like, anything. So, yeah, if I wasn't doing social media, I think I would be homeless, without a job, and unemployed. So I'm glad I'm doing social media, and no, I don't see myself quitting ever. Which people or accounts are your favorite to follow on social media? Honestly, you might not expect this about me, but I love watching golf content. Like that's like, and I'm a huge like golfer. Like I'm not that good. Like I'm a freaking like 18 handicap, so I'm not like good. but like I love playing and I love watching golf content. So like give me good, right? You know, probably my favorite golf channel, probably everyone's favorite golf channel. I love like Peter Finch, Rick Shields, Busta Jack. I love, Bob Does Sports. They've been killing it. Grant and Micah obviously are killing it. I love all those golf YouTube guys. Those are amazing. On TikTok, the Wordle community, the community that I'm in, I love their videos because I do similar stuff. My favorite TikTok people though are definitely, I love the FRDI show and I love the bread basket. So like people that do, like the drafts and the 20 questions. And that's something like Savannah and I have started doing. And we've been able to talk to them and they're awesome. So definitely golf for YouTube, and then for TikTok, breadbasket, FRDI show, stuff like that. Great pages. What is your favorite holiday? If you know the first thing about me, you know that not only is Christmas my favorite holiday, but it's my second favorite entity in the world. Like I'm talking out of any like thing in the world that exists, Christmas is number 2, only behind love. Because I mean, come on, it's love. Love's the goat with the freak. But yeah, no, I have my Christmas tree in the back right now. It's February 12th, don't care. That's staying up till June. And the only reason it's not staying up past June is because I move out in June. And you better believe it's planted right in my next apartment as soon as I move in. I got stockings, I got Christmas lights hanging up, I got garlands all over the place. Like I am full year-round decorated for Christmas. I listen to Christmas music all day. I still watch Christmas movies. That's not really true. I wait till December to watch the movies, but I listen to Christmas music still. The freaking Christmas tree, Christmas decorations hung up. It's the GOAT, like just the vibes of Christmas. And the GOAT part about Christmas is that it's Christmas starting on like December 1st. You know what I mean? And for me, it's starting in like June. But like for most people, like it starts to feel like Christmas on December 1st, and it's just a whole month-long celebration, and it's insane. Why do you think you get like 3 weeks off of school just for one day? What gets better than that? If you could find out one thing about your future, what would it be? I mean, how many years are we talking? Are we talking like 3 years, 5 years? If I could, let's say it was like, I could go 20 years into the future and ask myself one question, I would probably say, like, am I married yet? And if the answer is no, I gotta I gotta take a look in the mirror and I gotta be like, okay, maybe it's time for dating apps. You know what I mean? The wife has to exist in 20 years. Like I need it. I just need, like, all I wanna do is fall in love and live happily ever after in Paris under the Eiffel Tower on a picnic and Christmas. It just has to happen. And I need to know now whether that's gonna happen or not so I can like drastically change my life to make it happen. You know what I mean? Like it just has to happen. If you could have your dream vacation, where would you go and what would you do? Now this is interesting because I've always said that Australia is like my number 1 bucket place that I haven't been to. Like I've always wanted to go to Australia. I've just heard that people are so nice there. Like this is what I would do. I would go to Australia alone because like low-key traveling alone's the GOAT. I'd go to Australia alone and I would just like mix myself in with like the people there. Like they just seem so nice. My Siri, she's Australian. She is. And we get along. We have good chit chats, and she seems like a great person. But I would just talk to people and just like become friends with them. That'd be so fun. But the reason I say this is an interesting question is because anytime I think about wanting to travel somewhere, I think about wanting to go back to Paris. Paris I've been to now like 4 times, and it's by far my favorite place I've ever been. I will never go somewhere I like more than Paris. And I just like want to keep going there. I'm always like, I want to travel, all around Europe. I want to see everything there is in Europe. And I still do. But I feel like I can't justify going to Europe and like not going to Paris because Paris is the freaking GOAT. And I saw this thing that was like, oh, Paris is like the number 1 most overrated travel spot. You're not doing Paris right. Like, Paris is insane. The vibes are insane. I love the language. It's so beautiful. Everything about it, like going to the little patisseries and the boulangeries and like, mixing yourself in with all that. Oh, it's amazing. And like, oh, everything about it. It's so great. This is what I did. I traveled to Paris alone in March, this past March, for spring break of my college. I went alone and I would just like drop myself in a random like neighborhood that I hadn't been to yet. I'd walk around, I'd exhaust every single block of that entire neighborhood. And then I would like try and find my way because it's a very walkable city. Like the actual city is not that big in area. It's just like super populated, which is why it's such a big city. But you can like walk from one end to the other kinda. It's gonna take a while, but you can. So I'd like drop myself in a neighborhood and I'd like do it and then I'd try and find my way back without looking at a map. And if I got lost, that's great because then I'm freaking lost in Paris and that's the go. So I just want to go back to Paris. Like as much as I want to go to Australia, I'd rather go back to Paris for a 5th time. Not even kidding. What's your goal for where you'll be 3 years from today? It's a loaded question, and I feel like everybody who thinks about this is like, wow, like that's overwhelming. I want to, obviously I'm doing social media, like that's the plan. Like I graduate college in June and like I'm full-time social media. I'm pretty much full-time now, and I say that because I barely like do school. Like I'm just the WOD student, and I spend all of my time and energy on TikTok. But I'm like definitely gonna be full-time as soon as June hits. And I plan on doing it, like I said, you know, for the rest of my life. And so in 3 years, I think my biggest goal right now is to just be on other platforms that aren't just TikTok. Now I've started streaming on Twitch a lot. I stream on Twitch every single day, a couple hours a day. We do, you know, we like doing Kahoots because those are fun and like we get to just like make it interactive. But we also like doing brackets where I have you guys vote on certain matchups of things. I love doing tier lists where we just talk would you rather, just like fun stuff like that. I don't like play video games because I'm just like not that guy. But I really want to do Twitch like a lot more. I want to be bigger on YouTube because like I'm kind of like not like posting a lot on YouTube because like I don't really know, because you have to like film in horizontal and like then like my TikTok videos, and I'm like doing shorts, but like yeah, I don't know. So I just like want to like figure that out. I want to be on other platforms. I want to still be doing TikTok. Hopefully TikTok is around then, but I want to just make myself, you know, bigger on all these other platforms too. What is one of your most embarrassing moments? Okay, the only reason I'm like telling you guys this is because it's already on the internet already. So like you can find it. Oh, it's so bad, it's so bad. So Savannah and I, we wanted to do a video where it was like 30 seconds to guess the food. And I would think of a food and she would ask me yes or no questions until she could like narrow it down. And so the food I picked was bacon. I was like, all right, she's gonna have to guess bacon. I go 3, 2, 1, go. And she goes, one of her first questions is it meat? And I was like, in my head, I'm like, is bacon meat? And like, obviously bacon's meat, but like me being the freaking dum-dum that I am, I had to like think about it. And I was like, no. And I was like, wait a second, it might be. And then I was like, all right, wait, we gotta do another, I gotta pick another one. I gotta look this up. And so I look up, like, is bacon meat? And like the freaking first thing that it says is like, obviously yes, you freaking dum-dum. No, Google didn't say that. But I was like, oh my God, how did I know? And I'm like, Savannah's like, what happened? And I was like, sorry, I had to Google if bacon was meat. And she's like, what? It's like, obviously bacon's meat. It comes from a pig. And I was like, yeah, but it doesn't look like meat. Like a piece of bacon, like in my defense. And I know it's like pretty, like, it's gonna be hard to defend me here, but in my defense, that thing does not look like meat. Like, I don't look at that and be like, oh, like, that's meat, you know? Like, it just doesn't look like it. Now, obviously it is, but I didn't know that. So, hey, look, you learn something new every day. I learned, and we move on. So, don't find that video. I'm not gonna tell you where to find it, because what the freak? But yeah, that was very embarrassing. I have these, like, gaps in my knowledge, you know what I mean? Where I just, like, don't know, like, very obvious things. And that's definitely one of them. Appreciate you guys watching. Find me on TikTok at michael.DiCostanzo. And yeah,